wine vat, something like this, probably bigger, to hide from the Midianites. And knock knock, the angel of the Lord appears. You know what happens over there. Anyway, this is authentic wine press. This is an archaeological finding. We didn't add anything to it. It's cut in rock. So the farmers, they bring the grapes down from the vines. In summertime, they come here. This will be filled with grapes. You stomp on the grapes with your bare feet. The juice goes through here, fills the lower vat. You put the jars on the side and you drain the juice to the containers, seal it, and take it home to ferment to have the wine. This is mainly for the wine. Secondary use, we found the channel up here for a good reason. Later on, when this is not in use in winter time, the rain is coming, so the rain can flow through the channel to fill this vat down below. So it becomes like a practical cistern for the use of animals back then. Like for the sheep, for example, passing by here. Or if you're plowing the land, you bring your donkeys to drink from this area. Notice, this is missing a couple of things which is really important. Down below, the vat needs to be plastered really well, unless you lose the juice to the ground. Same thing up above here, the basin. Above their head, they need to have a shelter for shade because it's summertime, something like this, to have some beams and ropes to hold on unless they slip. Because they do this in dancing and chanting, because it's a celebration and it's a community event, so it's a festival. And if you do this with sandals up there on the soft grapes, you break the seeds. You break the seeds, the juice gets bitter. See how it's a simple reason that why they do this with bare feet? Don't worry, they wash the feet, by the way. But it's for a good reason, to have a good flavor of wine later on. It's all about the flavor. You don't want to have a bitter juice, it will not ferment to be a good wine. Really simple, but important for a family. You know, a family spend approximately a whole year to prepare 1/4 of an acre of land in this kind of system. Only 1/4 of an acre after 1 year preparation. Till you haven't, if you get a good produce, you need to wait another 3 or 4 years. Speaking about grapes, that's plenty of work. Okay, what was the first miracle for Jesus? Water to wine in Cana, in the Gospel of John. The process begins in something like this, in the wine press, that Jesus will know how it's used and how it's done back in these days. This is a key element. The strategic element is up above there. See the watchtower that I told you about? The watchtower, which is a replica, was done 4 years ago. This is something strategic, and the right location, the right position for it is in the midst of the land, in the heart of the land for a better view. We've done this really late because the authentic bases were found across the street, the other side. It took us time for the measurements to make this one up here. So I didn't want to put it inside because it would break the terraces. But still, that's what completes the setting of the property for protection, mainly from thieves. Again, Jesus in John 10, the Good Shepherd, Jesus said in verse 10, the thief came to steal and kill and destroy. Problem of robbers. As a matter of fact, some scholars, they say that's one of the reasons, one of the elements brought a bad reputation for Nazareth. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? Problem of thieves and robbers in a small tiny community back in these days. Or wild animals. Be aware of the little foxes, they might spoil your vines. Words of King Solomon. That's why we need to have something like this. Now, hear these words by Jesus in this parable, the complete setting in front of us. Mark 12 verse 1. Mark 12 verse 1. He then began to speak to them in parables. A man planted a vineyard and put a wall around it. He dug a pit for the wine press, built a watchtower, leased it to the tenants who went off our journey. See the context of the vineyard you can see in front of us in here. If you know the story, what happened in verse 10, Jesus made a switch. Haven't you read the scripture? The stone has been rejected by the builders, has become the cornerstone. See, that's right, it's a prophecy. He knows what it is. But he is a master builder, will know what the keystone is to be used. And if you neglect it, you're in trouble. See, the combination of these elements together in one piece, pointing about himself, is going to be rejected. The beloved son and the cornerstone in one piece. And they got the point. They got the point after these words. And in the NIV it says, verse 11 and 12, they knew he spoke the parable against them and were looking for a way to arrest him and kill him, but they were afraid of the crowd. It clicked. Nothing from outer space. These guys knew, he knew what he's going to talk about. And actually they wanted to practice what they understood. Arrest him and kill him. But it was not the time. But read after Mark 12 verse 1 to 12, you see the story switch and Jesus going to the cross later on. This one parable, by the way. I can go on and on. Somebody got to stop me.
Keep on.
Alright, let's